Alright, I just finished up doing this exhaust port here. So you can see that's all flowed around the guide now. It just fit pretty nicely through there. This is how it looked before we did it. Had the undercut in here from where I did the head job. So this one I have to go back and cut this whole wall around over here. This side here is already done, so shouldn't have to do much on that side. It's already cut out oversized. This one here I had to cut quite a bit out of this side and just barely cleaned it up over on this side, not too bad. So we did a lot of work over here on the exhaust outlet side. Got this all squared up, got it round, got it all flowed up real good all the way up into the inside in there. Nice smooth transitions. I'll get the right word out yet. So it looks pretty good. So anyway, that's what it all looks like when you do it. So that's what we're shooting for. So I got a little bit more work to do on the outside of this head. The combustion chamber. Usually I knock these transitional areas right here off, make them smooth. So this head's just about done, so I'll go ahead and work on that a little bit, I guess, on this side. Then we'll do the exhaust port. Alright. Get over, you can see a little better. You want to make sure you don't cut the seat away. Now this the head holder's in the way, so I'll do this side last because that's going to have to be unscrewed to get to it. So we'll flip it around and go to this side. Away a little bit. We just want to make it even. We're not going to cut it all the way away. Over to a dull one to smooth it in. Should be doing it from the other side. I'm cutting almost right on the tip on this side. If it was on the other side, it'd be more of an angle like this, which is easier to do. I broke my light again. Dual plug, so I'm going to chamfer out the plug hole. Make it nice and smooth. Always in the way of everything again. Try to get her and see what I'm doing. That didn't help it. Camera's in the way again. All right. So you smooth out the edge there a little bit. Stay off of this area unless it's really, really sharp. I'll just barely kiss it just to knock it down a little bit. So I blunted the edge up here so it's not sharp. Same over here, just blend it so it's still got a, it still goes like this and like that, but it's radiused on the very top edge of the corner. You don't want to lower the compression all the way down to nothing, so just do enough to make it flow better. Everything's on the wrong angle. And the camera's coursing away. Don't need much there, just knock off the sharp edge. We're just continuing the radius all the way around. Not much. That's all we're trying to do. A little bit goes a long way on this kind of stuff. Okay, now we go over to this other side. Put this edge over here. This one is sharp. See how this one here is sharp right there. It definitely needs to be knocked down slightly, but the cylinder spigot's right there, so we'll make it bigger. I just don't want a sharp edge there for detonate off of. Okay, just knock off the sharpness there is all we did. See right there, took the sharp edge right down a little bit. Not much more, like I said, the cylinder's probably overhanging this already, so go too far. Okay, now I just gotta blend this right here, so you can see it's got the sharp edge on there. see how this other side, how we blended it away. So that's all you're trying to do. Don't get too carried away. Okay. Short reach head, long reach tool, so have to get it out of the way. Like that. Makes it more interesting for porting. Yeah, it moves. Means you can't push very hard. You tell them don't have to push very hard because it doesn't take much to move the head, see? That's how light the pressure is you're using on these tools. You're not laying into them very hard. Switch over to dull cutter.
Hey, I'm out of here, Ken.
Okay.
Be back down here tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be down here. Close the front door on the way out.
All right. You still taping?
Hmm?
You still taping?
Why, you need something?
No.
All right. Do run that plug hole too. Okay, so that's all blended over. Try and knock the threads off, or chamfer the threads a little bit there. Those threads are probably still going to be open without having to plug in. I'm not sure how far, but see how this is all chamfered back. That's probably how that should be too, but I'm not going to cut them. I dulled them a little bit, that's enough. Okay, so there's our before and after head. There you go. Still got the sharp edges here kind of a little bit. These aren't super sharp, but see how these are dulled away over here. That's how you do it. Chamfer around the plug hole. That'll be this one over here. This one here's the sharp one. That's the sharp one on this side. Over there. And you see how we blend it all the way around the exhaust port here too. And I can get over that further. So you can see how this needs to be. And had that work done yet on it. Alright, so that's what we're going to do on that. So here's what the port looked like before I worked on it. Here's what it looked like after. You can see there's areas where it's dull spots where I didn't cut. No reason to. Those darker areas are the low spots that I did not cut. If you don't need to cut it, don't cut it. Alright, So now we're going to go ahead and move this one over to here. Do some cutting. Okay. First thing I do is obviously put the tool in. I already did that one. Look at that. Nice job. Oh, we got to cut this side. So you want to do the worst first. So in this case, the worst is that side. So this one's going to blend pretty quickly from here to here because not much to cut. It's already all cut out through there. This one here, we got to cut this whole wall away through here. So a lot more cutting on that side. We're going to do this side first. So position it down. You have good access to what you're going to do. Light and hole, whatever you want to see. Camera over here, we can kind of see it. Not sure how much you'll be able to see. We'll see. This cutter was too big to get in there on most of it. I might be able to get a little bit at the very end, but not right now. It's too big. This one here is one we got to use. So that's what we'll go with. So you kind of figure out how deep you want to cut it. You basically want to go from this low spot here to the other spot. We can kind of see better, maybe, I'm not sure. So you want it to be a straight line. Yeah. Some pointers around here. So this is our low spot here we cut with the head machine. The port's over here, so you want to get a straight line from here to here. That peak right there is what we're going to be cutting out. And then it should flow pretty good after that. Do not grind into the seat on this side. Yeah. Change the angle from here to here because it was trying to dig into the seat on the back side. We do it like this, it only hits on the side of it, which is what we're trying to cut. In the valve guide, you bounce up into it, but try to not push into it. You can use it as a guide for making it round. So you can see how we're cutting out like a big triangle out of there. That's what you're trying to do. And I went over here and knocked this off over here in my way so I wouldn't be bumping into it. So I'm pretty much just going back and forth right through here. And I want the cutter to go straight back like this. When it keeps going like that, there's high spots. So the cutter will tell you where the high spot is if you just let it. I just keep working off. I shove deeper trying to cut it straight down here. So watch the cutter's path. See how it goes back and forth as it goes. So all those movements side to side is what you're trying to cut away. So, you know, our basic shape is coming in, but we still got a lot of material to take out right here. My finger is. The depth, I need to go a little bit deeper also. Right there where my finger is, but not too bad. We're going to transition right through here, is starting to come in. Be careful about plunging too deep. You can dig a trough in there that you don't really want in there. Everything's got to be kind of slow and easy with it. Making long radiuses. You can feel the high spots. Just keep going until the high spot ain't there. You can hear the cutter dig into the high spot as I'm doing that. trying to make it all round and radiused and smooth. There's a lot of lumps in there because I keep digging in deeper, trying to cut it down. Alright, that's a good stopping point on that one. You don't want to cut it all in one direction because when you cut it from the other side it'll be totally different. But you can see how I've cut it out quite a bit. So now the wall, instead of being right here, is going to move way back over to here. So we got to come from the other side and blend that whole corner right there in. That whole high spot there has got to come out now, which will get rid of the high spot right there. This low spot here is actually the height is still higher than this side over here, see? See the depth difference between that one and this one? This is still a lot lower than this side. So even though you think you're digging in there real deep, you're not. So I'm going to come here with my little small cutter and knock off this edge right here to give me a better idea where I'm at. So that'd be this little small one right here. It gets in with the deeper to what the guide is. Now, if you knew you had to cut all this out before, you could have put the guide out and cut it and come back, but most of the time you're working around the guide, so that's how it goes. Now the smaller the cutter, the easier it is to make holes. And I'm getting a couple going in there. The lighter pressure and lots of movement, which blends those in more. Getting a little bit of a hole right here, which I'm trying to avoid. I cut all this over here. This all got cut down deeper. So we're digging a hole here. This is the high spot I was trying to reach on, but I keep bouncing over the low spot. It digs into that hole. So I'm going to stop, go to a different angle, come back in it. I'm cutting the cutter straight down. I can come over here at this angle and I can probably knock off that ridge right there without digging a hole, because I cut more like this across the ridge. Instead of being like that, where you go over the top and bounce back into the hole. It's all about angles. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is go back over here and clean that area up. You can see how I get more of a transition coming through there. Nice long radiuses through here. But remember, don't go cutting up underneath here. You can see how someone already put a big low spot right in there. That's whoever poured it originally. They dug their cutter in right there. That's a low spot we're going to leave. Cut that out, you destroy the flow, so it's better to leave the hole than make it worse. All right. Okay, so from this angle, I can feel a big high spot right there. So you can see how I'm trying to go line of sight straight in. So we're going to knock that wall out a little bit right there. Now, I use these little small grinders to see I can get down inside the port pretty good. I can stick the whole grinder down in the port if I have to. You cut kind of blind, but you can cut into that deep. Or you can use a big long cutter right here. Go in there like this and massage the area here. See how the angle's different? See, when I have to go this way, this one I can go way over here. And this is a better angle because you got a better angle of attack way up in there. So you can actually cut where you want to instead of like this, which leaves us an edge again. This one lets you go in there and cut the edge away a little bit. The problem is these cutters like to break. And if you force them here and here, it wants to bend them. Cheap ones will bend, then you really got to mess real quick in your hand. It gets a heavy vibration going real quick. Not fun at all. Let's go over here. Give her an angle, you might be able to see something, I'm not sure. Hard to tell. Stuff's all in my way too, and I'm trying to film. Alright, so we're going to try to come in here and clean this up a little bit. I'm going to use this long one here. Okay, so now you can see what we've been working on there. See, I've just been cutting from here to right there. There's a hole right through here. You have the port angle, looks like a hole, but that's the radius from that side. It looks like a hole because this is still high. When you get this cut down, that'll look like a straight line. You don't want to be cutting up here in the short side very much here. That's pretty critical, so you want to stay off of that area. I'm already cutting too much up there. So now I'm starting to cut. There's a hump over in this area here. I'm starting to cut away on a little bit. So look a little closer, maybe you'll see better. I'm also digging in right here, which is cutting this deeper through here. So this area right through here is going to start digging out a little bit, up like this, and stay off of this. You want to stay off of the short side up in here. Do not cut up in that area, because that's real short back. You can see my fingers tight turn right there. And it's already too much. Yeah. Right there, that finger is. Don't cut anymore. That's already feels like it's too much. They look good from this side, but from this side it's terrible. So I shouldn't have cut quite that much there. Now that'll look better once you get this down here, but you definitely want to be cutting no more right there. That's enough. It'll be too much already. Put that 15 or 20 thou back in there, it'd be bad. Better. That's why you don't want to cut too much from one side. You don't know what you're doing from the opposite angle. more. So you couldn't see how it's starting to blend in there pretty good. See how my tip's not being buried by anything. Most of that hole is gone now. You can see where I cut, just like I said I was going to do, mainly over here. Staying off at the very top, blending right at the bottom. So I'm going to come around from the other direction and try to blend it some more from that side. Because right now you're getting too much in that one spot. So from this angle, yeah, that hole you're looking at right here blends in real good to this. But from the other side, that looks like a hole. So now we got to try to make a radius. You don't want to cut that completely out; it'll be too big. You want to start making a nice radius, like you said, is where the air will go around it. So that's what we're going to try to do from this angle. But we want to cut him on the short side up in here. You can see how it's getting pretty short. Don't want to be cutting up there. See how that cut was getting up to here a little bit? I'd rather keep that deeper. It came up about 100 thou more than I wanted to on that edge, which is only a few thou, but a few thou makes a big difference when you're this close to working on things. Okay, let's try our big cutter here, see how that works. A little light over here might help, might not, I don't know. Yeah, kind of a toss-up. So, from this angle I can see exactly where I want to work on things. Just a little bit, in the right spot makes a huge difference. So see that fresh material cut right there? It's a triangle shape right there, draw it down, V's down, then it goes over there, comes back this way. See there's a little low spot right there. I don't know if you can see the angle, color changes. But see that, just making that little V angle out of there, that really makes that flow real nice. So now you got a nice, even flow. Because that was where the high spot was. So it doesn't take much to make a big difference. It's not just about hogging the piss out of it. Controlling where you're at and taking it slow and easy. Now I'm just going to blend that whole surface area in, but keep that radius going. The nice slow light cuts. Trying to shape it, not remove out a bunch of crap. Alright. You see it's kind of more flowed in there. Nice even. You can see where I stopped cutting right there. See, the highest the cut mark went was right there. That's just kind of where it bounced against the surface. Didn't really cut in. Most of the cutting was from here down. This high spot up here is where I overcut it from the other side. Just barely. So now you got a nice even flow around. Radius is in pretty good. It's not too bad of a bowl in here. It's kind of semi-flat. It's still a little bit more uneven. I like it, but in the real world it's close enough. Okay, now I'm going to come across here my dull cutter. This one here. I'm try to just kind of bounce it around and smooth things up a little bit, because this cutter leaves a pretty rough cut. Because it's pretty sharp. It actually removes metal. When they're really, really long like that, they bounce a lot. They wiggle around anyway. They don't just cut, turn. Even they go like a circle and they kind of bounce around. So they're not super smooth. See, when they hit something, they bounce because you're way back here trying to hold it. So you have more of a bounce, bounce, bounce type thing, which digs in and makes it rougher. Here's our dull one. I'm going to come in here. All right. Okay. Too bad. I'm going to flip it up and go look at this other side here now. See what it looks like. Alright, so this is what we got to work from this angle. The bowl's kind of roughed in. Rough is the key phrase there. So I need to get some of this roughness out of here, at least attempt to. It's really hard to do. There's a big casting hole right there that's still in there. It's going to stay in there. Shape feels pretty good coming around, so shouldn't have to be much on that. Most of it's going to be trying to get this bowl more even and round. The bigger the cutter you can use, the better for doing that kind of job. So we'll see how we can do that. Here's my big cutter. Come in this real light, let it kind of bounce around and get the hell out of there. We just want to hit the high spot, nothing else. Bouncy thing than cutting right there. Yeah. Putting a hole over there, I don't want it. Alright, so it's smoothed up the surface to here. So it's still really bad down deep in there. So this area here is still really bad. This is pretty smooth here. The problem was, I'm starting to put a little hole right here. It's actually a low spot there now, which I didn't want in there. That's because the cutter bounced up over there and it's just bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. It started cutting into it. So I'm trying not to do that kind of stuff. We still got a high spot where my fingernail is. See, it's all smooth through here. It's just deep in, I can't get to it. Now I can shove this tip in. The problem is I'm hitting against the guide and I can't tell what's cutting, the guide or in the head. The cutter's too big. So we gotta use a smaller cutter and try to do that. So we'll go back to the big one we have. The light's really bad, it's just a shadow, which is not helping the situation. Can't see what I'm cutting, it's just a shell. It's more by feel. Okay, I gotta change the angle because I can't get to what I want. I can't see, it's all shadow. Have very low depth perception when you're in a shadow. So change our angle. Come back in this kind of an angle. Try to get more of a lead of attack when we can get to it. So I have to play around this a little bit. Okay. Shadow's kind of out of the way now. Alright, see what kind of mess we made over here. Valve guide's cutting my top of my finger there. I gotta dull it out a little bit. Okay, hole there. Okay, I got most of that out of there. It's really, really hard to get radius here to the high spots. So I don't know if you can really see it, but that's a lot smoother through there than it used to be. It's a nice good radius in there now. A little bit higher right there. It used to be high over here. Now it's really, really close now. Yeah, I think this high move right to where my nail is next. And I got it smooth all the way up over to here. I had to go cut deeper back in there. So I got to do some more work deeper in. So it's going to be time to change the angle of the head. So keep an area you got to work in. You got to have good access to sight to what you're trying to fix. There's a hole in there. It's very hard to make that hole deeper. Very easy to make it deeper. Alright. Quit playing with that before you make it worse. Now I got to rotate the head another flat. I should be able to get to the other part of it. Maybe just rotate it down is the answer. Yeah, I guess just rotate it down is all we really need to do. Change the angle where you're working now. And you move a little bit further up the port now. Different area. Now we got multiple grooves going. Trying to make it flat. Just makes a different hole. Hard to get that anywhere near flat. Okay, coming from the other side now. It's got a bunch of waves and stuff in there. Can't really get them out at that angle. Come around this direction, I'll cross cut it. Should be able to knock them out pretty quickly. Coming from this angle, it's basically cutting it a cross cut, which means I'm cutting like this instead of going bounce, 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 bounce like this. They go like this. Allows you to cut waves and grooves out easier.